to today's episode. And today we shall be discussing what shall we discuss today? Let me take a sip of my coffee while I think about it. So, let's just imagine that you are flying. You're flying across the sky. The sky is blue. It's a clear blue sky, and you are flying across it. How good that must feel. I think we should speak about dreams. What are dreams? Now, I didn't do any research into dreams for this video, but I will speak about them nonetheless, as I believe that I will in some capacity be able to express my feelings about them. Imagine you're still flying across the sky and you encounter a bird. This bird isn't just any bird. It is a white bird. And it's large, like a phoenix. It's white, fluffy, and so aerodynamic. And it waits for you. And you fly together. You have met a friend in the sky. How good that must feel. Now, imagine this friend is telling you what I am about to tell you. This is one crazy bird because what is about to transpire is unknown even to me. Okay, let's get into it. So, dreams. They are obviously bad dreams, and they are also good dreams. Well, not bad dreams, but dreams that make you fear things. Now, I don't know if this has happened to you, but it has happened to me. And believe me, I am not one to believe in the superstitious. I am one to believe in the stitious. If you get that Michael Scott joke, then good for you. But I believe that at least some dreams give you a glimpse into the future. Let me explain. Okay. So, one regular occurrence that happens to me is when I dream, right? Most of the time, I don't know what my dreams are about. But when I do know what they are about, they weirdly seem to happen months or years after I had the dream. And believe me, I am not one for having a good memory. My memory is very bad. But I seem to remember these dreams more than I remember how old I am. True story. And so that begs the question, can I in particular see the future? Or is my brain calculating all the things that could happen in the future and preparing me for the things that are gonna happen? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, when these things happen, I'm always so baffled. I'm like, huh? How did I know this was gonna happen? Most of the time it doesn't happen exactly the way I dreamt it, but it does happen to an extent. And then I'm always left there being, this is fucking strange. And the reason that it is strange to me is my perception of time. Humans cannot perceive time as nothing more than linear. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. As you age linearly. You don't suddenly become 10 years old and then 8 years old and then 15 years old and then 25. That would be non-linear time. We don't get to experience that. I don't know what that is, but it's probably not a gunshot. Yes. We experience time linearly. And so my question is, in dreams, do we get to experience it in other ways? Or is it, give me a second. Or is it that like brains are calculating the future? And they're so good at it that most times, well, for me, most of the dreams I remember are things that actually do happen, whether it's a year, 5 years, or a week into the future. It's crazy. I, for one, obviously do not have an answer to this, but there has been a scary amount of right predictions that correct events that my brain has predicted, a scary amount. Now that leads me to believe that I might be able to see the future, or at least very accurately imagine and dream about the future. Because what also happens is, when I think a random thought, I'll just think, I wonder how much a cupcake is worth at ShopRite. And then literally the day after that, someone or asks me the same thing, and I'm like, I don't know how much it is, but that's kind of weird. Did you read my brain? Because I thought of the exact same thing yesterday. Or for instance, let me think of something else, something that has actually happened, if I can. Yes. I'm not sure if this has happened or not. Excuse me. I'm not sure if this has happened or not. But I can tell you something similar has happened. So, I one time was curious about a topic. Let's say the topic is phones. I was curious, being like, I wonder how much a Samsung A14 or A15 would be worth in terms of pricing. Because I have those thoughts, weirdly. Don't judge. So yes, I have those thoughts, and I was like, let me research it. I searched it up, found out the price. I don't particularly remember the price right now, but back then I remembered the price. Went to work, and a coworker was looking for a phone to buy, and obviously they know I'm the one to ask, because I basically live in phones and swim in phones, and phones are a passion of mine. Technology is. So what I did was, I was just like, okay, let me search this phone up. And then I go to work, and they ask me how much a good phone would be. Obviously now Samsung A15 is not a good phone, but her budget was very close to the Samsungs, like the lower tier Samsungs, and I was baffled. I was like, whoa. Am I just able to read the future? Or do I pick up little things and predict it with great accuracy? Now, don't get me wrong. I cannot do a single thing with my power, provided that I do actually have it. It doesn't serve me any purpose, because I always know that I knew about a topic right after it has happened. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I remember this. So yes. We were on the topic of dreams and why they're fucking strange, and I don't know why they seem to have this everlasting experience in me, because right now I can tell you like 3 different dreams that might happen that haven't happened yet. I am not going to, but I could. I'd have to write them down first. Now, if we go to nightmares, I think nightmares serve a simple purpose, which is to just prepare you for a danger that might happen. Something that might happen, it prepares you. Or, yes, because I remember once there was, I think, nuclear tests or whatever on my mind. I was just obsessed with all things nuclear. And one of those nights when I was obsessed, I dreamt the whole place, my whole neighborhood, was being attacked, not by nuclear bombs, but by thunder. It's not really the same, but it is close, because it decimated most of the neighborhood. I was scared, obviously. But then I woke up, and then a few days later, I remember thinking to myself, why am I afraid of such a thing like that? If something like that were to drop a nuclear bomb, there's no way I'm surviving it. especially if it drops in my neighborhood. So I just told myself, it is what it is. If our neighborhood is bombed, I'm dead anyways. So there's no reason to fear being bombed. And for me, it is the same with death. There's no reason for me to fear death, as I know it is coming. So for me, it's just meh. I really do not pay mind to something that I know will happen. For instance, if I know that I'm gonna die at the age of 27, I am not gonna live my life in fear, knowing that I will die, because there is no point in fearing, and there's no point in fearing what will inevitably happen. It's like when you're thirsty and you don't drink water in a desert. This is actually an interesting thing that happens to people, right? In deserts, when they're stuck in a dry place with no water, the people that were stuck are found with bottles of water when they died of dehydration. And what that teaches me is, we as humans, when we are afraid of something, we tend to try and make it last. But by making it last, give me a second, let me increase my music length. God, let's go. There we go. We as humans are stupid in that way. We try and preserve water even though we're dehydrated, and then we end up dying with the water. So what that teaches me is, if you know something is gonna eventually go out, like water, if you're hungry, you don't want to eat because there's 2 slices of bread left in the drawer, not in the drawer, in the kitchen, but you don't eat it because you're like, I'm gonna be hungrier later. Why? If you eat now, you'll be less hungry later. So, okay, let me bring this home a little bit. Let me combine everything to make it make sense. The people that are in the desert, when they are dehydrated, they're like, I'm not gonna drink this water because there's a chance I'll be here for 2 months. And they end up dying within a week because they saved that water. But if they didn't save the water, they would probably have survived the 2 months and have been rescued. So think about that on a larger scale. When you are afraid of something, it basically backfires onto you. When you are afraid to be seen, every time that you are seen, it becomes hell. But when you are not afraid to be seen, then it doesn't matter. And all you have to do to change your mind is believe that you're not afraid to be seen. If you're afraid of punishment at work, when the punishment eventually comes, you will be more stressed out during or before the punishment. Yes. So if we say the punishment comes in 2 months, those entire 2 months you will be thinking, I better not make a mistake right now. And that is a very negative way of thinking. When you don't want to make a mistake, or you don't want to do something you're afraid to do, you end up not living life the way you want to live it. Because if you were not afraid to be in trouble, you wouldn't come 30 minutes early for work. You would still have more time to do what you want at your house. If you weren't afraid of punishment, you wouldn't finish your break early or even sacrifice your break. Your lunch time, I guess. Sacrifice your lunch time because you're afraid people will see you as the worker that just works and takes long breaks. If you weren't afraid of the punishment, you wouldn't let your boss step all over you to get what they want. You'd be able to say no. So, dear listener, what I say to you is, do not be afraid. I know we started off with dreams, but I kind of like ending like this. Do not be afraid of something that you are afraid of. Know that that thing is coming and do what you want anyways. If it is inevitably coming, it means there's literally nothing you can do about it. So just live your life the way you want to live it. And this ties back to dreams as well. If there's something you are afraid of, I believe that the nightmare makes you confront the thing you are afraid of, so you can easily give yourself a resolution, so you can move on. That is what I believe dreams are about. Okay, I will let the music go on for a couple more minutes, and then I will end the video. Have a good day, night, or morning. Goodbye.